Welcome to our CostsFirst video series. This video is going to focus on the settings feature and the default costs built into the program. To illustrate how to use the settings function, we're going to draft up a buyer's net sheet example and how the settings relate to that net sheet. So once you've logged into CostsFirst.com, go to a buyer's net sheet and enter a sales price. Your zip code is already entered as it's defaulted for the one you provided when you signed up. So enter the sales price in a different zip code if necessary, and it will return the title, escrow, and all closing costs associated with the transaction for that specific area and who will pay for those particular costs. With those associated costs and fees, if you know any of these fees are going to be different, you can always change them. For example, if the home warranty is going to be different, you can always change that. These numbers are on the default settings, but you can change them on the go as you determine your net sheet. So how does this relate to the settings and costs associated? Let's go back to the dashboard and bring up settings. Settings allows you to look at the default costs for an average transaction. CostsFirst estimates these numbers and they are very accurate. Remember, this is an estimate. It's not an exact actual quote for all the closing costs. It gives the buyer and seller a good idea of what their costs are going to be. So let's look at the default costs. You can change any of these you want. Since we drafted a buyer's net sheet example, let's look at the tab for buyer default costs. Say you want to change the home warranty line item. You can do so by clicking the edit icon, and you can simply change the amount from $300 to say $500. Click on the green check mark to save it. Now, say you want to add a transaction fee to your default buyer costs. Pick a line item and change the field name. Choose the type of fee, whether it's a percent of the loan amount, sales price, or a flat fee. Enter the fee rate, and then check whether it's applicable to a cash transaction, and then click the green check. Doing these things will save you time as you generate these net sheets. If you know these rates will never change and you don't want the program to change these settings, you can lock those line items. If you make a mistake and you want to start from scratch, you can always click the Re-Download Default Cost tab, and it will wipe out everything you had worked on that hadn't been locked. If you put a check in the lock boxes next to the line items that you do not want to be changed, this will prevent FirstAm's updates from overwriting them. Of critical importance, when you make changes in the settings panel, changes will be made to your desktop as well as your mobile app instantaneously. So let's review the tabs in the settings module. The Seller Costs tab. This is similar to the Buyer Costs tab. All the related fees associated with a seller net sheet are here. This is where you can change the defaults for any of your closing costs associated with your transactions. Every one of these tabs is associated with one of the net sheets for CostsFirst, whether it's a short sale, whether it's the FHA, VA, USDA loan rules, buyer costs, as we went through, refinance costs, conventional loan information, other escrow, CDTC, TRID printouts and disclosures, and loan comparison. The other escrow tab is important for Southern California as it has a lot of independent escrow or broker-owned escrow, and they may want a title quote from First American, but they may want to use their own escrow fees for their particular market area. So you can put in whatever base rates those are and the rate per thousand, and if you check this box, it will overwrite First American title escrow with whatever you just entered. The loan comparison tab will run the report in the $25,000 increments. Here is where you can change that amount. If you ever want to reach out to us directly, you can always click the Contact Us link and reach out to our support desk. That number, 1-800-252-8692, or you can reach us by email at support@costsfirst.com. We're always here to help you, or you can contact your title rep. Thanks for watching this CostsFirst video.